We are live from the Benikiva virtual studio. My name is Bobbie Shrivastav, co-founder and chief product officer of Benikiva.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benikiva.
So today, last week we talked about just some, personal occurrence that happened to Brent and I. And I think this week, we've been very much, watching what's been happening in the communities that we live on, around racism and, wanted to share our message that we as a company do not stand for that. It has hit home. I'll share a personal story. It has hit home. Uh, it's hit home, right? So, as an Asian growing up in a very small town in North Carolina, you know, um, getting told that go back where you came from. I grew up in the U.S., right? Where am I supposed to go? Getting judged on by, just one scenario. I loved speaking Spanish, but I would not speak Spanish because people would get confused that are you Indian? Are you Hispanic? People didn't want to know. They just wanted to judge. And the biggest judgment was you're Hispanic. And I just didn't, I just, that was not true. So I just stopped, I became silent. I think those are things growing up that I faced, and as you get older, you just become immune. What I use the word numb. Most 99% of the people are awesome. It's just that 1% that will kind of nick at you every once in a while. And then, when you grow up, you think, you live in a diverse town. I live in, Winston-Salem. I travel to Raleigh, Charlotte all the time, very diverse populations that, this stuff just barely happens, but it still happens. When in my 3 years ago, somebody made fun of the way I spoke, right? And I don't have an I mean, I talk normal, right? But they were making fun of the way that I said a certain word, and I was like, where does this come from? And then it hit me. Oh, brown skin. They just made fun of the way I spoke a certain word. Just not right, not right. I mean, I'm very educated, just not right when you face that. And I could only imagine what, my colleagues that are in the Black community are facing. We face this once in a while. They face this. I mean, I've read stories about my professional friends that are just, they face this a lot, lot, way more. Either regardless, it's not right. Whatever color of your skin is, it's just not right. And I think, we have a very strong inclusive and diversity policy in our company, and we just don't stand for that. It just has, we just hope for peace and just let's get out of this as better community at the end.
Yeah, to Bobbie's point, where we don't accept that in our company, we don't to the core. And, Bobbie and I, we have the great opportunity to meet wonderful people and hire wonderful people. And one of the things we always said from day one, we will not hire because a person is blue, black, brown, yellow. We will not hire because a person is male or female. We will hire the person because they are the best person for the job, period. It doesn't matter to us what color you are. It doesn't matter to us what gender you are. It doesn't matter to us what you do behind closed doors. That's your deal. All we care about is it the best person for the job? Now, what happened with that man and those police officers? It was definitely wrong. As a former police officer years and years ago, I can tell you the police industry is no different than any other industry. There are good ones and there are bad ones. Unfortunately, that person ran into a few of the bad ones, and it was definitely wrong. All of those people should get punished. As a former police officer, I can tell you this: that when a man is handcuffed and in custody, The threat is gone. There is no threat at that point. Can the guy talk to you and maybe spit on you or do some things like that? Yes, but that's part of the job. That's why you chose to be a police officer. It's no different than a nurse or doctor getting peed on or something like that. I mean, it's part of the job. So the thing that really frustrated me about watching, and I didn't even watch the whole video, I really couldn't. The thing that really frustrated me is you have other officers standing around with a voice that did nothing. I mean, those officers should have went to that officer and said, hey, threat is gone. Let the man up. Let's, but none of them did that. They just sat there, even with bystanders saying, the guy says he can't breathe, help him up. I mean, all of those officers were obviously wrong. Unfortunately, they're the bad apples, just like we have in any industry. And it's very unfortunate. I just couldn't imagine. My daughter, I've got 3 girls. A lot of you may know that if you know me. I have 3 girls, and my middle daughter, her fiance is Black. And I'll tell you, I love this kid like he's my own. And, it doesn't matter to me what color he is. What matters to me is he takes care of my daughter and makes her feel special. And, it's very frustrating.
I think it's time, yesterday there was a Twitter chat around, some of the voices not being heard. I think I reflect back on, what, our policy around being inclusive, but, we do bring people to the table. I mean, we are a very diverse organization, and that's what it's going to take is give opportunity and make opportunity. It's not about, sometimes, doing one piece of it and not doing all of it is not the answer. And, we just have to recognize that this is a problem, and we need to, figure out ways within our powers and our voice to stand and take action. And, as a company, we're mourning, and we are standing strong, and we are strong allies. And, we just wish everyone peace and hope that this, we can come out of this with good policy, good hiring practices, so we reduce those bad apples and just make progress, positive progress, take action, not just sit behind words.
Yeah, and let's talk just a second about the unintended consequences. I know every community is having riots. We had it all around our community last night, where it was literally planned. We're going to go to Target and we're going to break all the doors and we're going to loot Target. Okay, what does that solve? I mean, to me, that's not protesting. That's a bunch of hooligans. Protesting is when you get people together and you protest peacefully. I know for a fact, based on history, of course, I didn't know the man, Martin Luther King, but I know for a fact he did not condone violence. He did not condone rioting. He did not condone those things. So to me, when I see people taking advantage of the situation like that and using this as a crutch or a reason to go do something like that, it just hurts my core. And think about the business owners. We live in a smaller community, and they were talking about going uptown and destroying the town, uptown, our little downtown area. These are families who have owned businesses for generations, and you're going to go in there and destroy their facility. And why?
And they are all races. They're not just one race or another. They're all races that own businesses. Yeah. Same thing happened in my town. I mean, it was a really beautiful African American community, a business that was destroyed in that whole process. Other groups' businesses got destroyed.
And think about it. What happens in that case? I mean, what is truly solved, right? So let's take the Target situation, right? You're talking a $1 billion company. They're going to call their insurance company. Insurance is going to come in and fix everything and take care of everything. And then what? Then the insurance is going to look at that as a risk, and risk costs money. Therefore, now all of our insurance is going to be more expensive going forward because people want to go riot and destroy shit just to destroy shit. I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
No, and I think there's a, one thing I will tell the community is, a lot of us want to help our allies. I don't think anybody agrees with the destruction. And I know there's anger, but I know the folks that are angry and protesting are not creating, they're telling, they're saying, this is not what we want. Please don't do that. But I think some of us don't know how to help support, right? Some of us may get our history facts wrong, or, I had a friend that was sharing the same sentiment that Brent and I share about, don't loot, and, was, part of a minority group and was called very bad names in social media. It's not a way to promote, let's work together. A lot of us don't know how to help. So we're trying to figure out how to help and how to create that voice and how to use our influence to help. But doesn't mean that you have to defame people in social media. If there's things that you don't agree, have a conversation. Don't go out in public. It's just like in corporate, when there's disagreements, right? You don't call somebody out in front of a team. You have a conversation about it, because the last thing you want is to embarrass somebody. So,
Yep.
Okay, guys, happy Monday, and we'll share another story, and I think I'm at loss of words at this point. Have a great day. Thank you.
You guys.